Quincy, Washington, a population of 8,789 people, is a rural town located in central Washington. However, this small town struggled with gang violence in the late 2000s when gangs such as Marihuanos 13 and other street gangs had formed rivalries. In this interview, I speak to my uncle about his time in Quincy and the struggles he faced while being part of a gang during his early ages and how they first established themselves. And you know how, because in my class right now we're talking about urban gangs, so gangs in like bigger cities like Los Angeles or like Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's not really much known about rural gangs, like gangs in small communities. So do you know how your gang established itself? Because you said that you joined it through your friends, but do you know
Yeah,
how the gang first formed in Quincy, considering how back then
yeah,
have that big
yeah.
population?
The our gang actually came down from Walla Walla.
Really
That
from
was
Apollo?
Yeah. They were from Walla Walla. Some of the homies, the homie Warlock and his brothers came down out here, and they started establishing it, and they established it. And we had homies that used to come down from Walla Walla. We had a few homies that used to come down from Walla Walla and put in work and go back.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it went on. It was just us, and then I know down in California, it's one of the oldest gangs down there in California too. Uh, but I don't remember exactly what part. But yeah, there's some down there in California too, Walla Walla in California.
I see, I see. As the gang had grown in size, their relationship with the cops became more complicated as they were always followed by police as they patrolled the areas. Also, what would you say the relationship between your gang and the police was? Like, how did the police fit into your day-to-day life?
With the police
Yeah.
or what? Yeah, it's strange. You know what I mean? Now that you said that, because back then I used to be up, and they were pretty much around the corner in every freaking way, shape, or form they would make up. And now they don't even, I don't know, they stop bothering me after I finished up all my time and all that stuff. They just pretty much stopped. I haven't been pulled over. I haven't been harassed. I haven't. They don't. Well, I don't even. I'm not out there like that no more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they know who's active and who's not.
And like when you were smart, did you feel like the police would harass you a lot? Were you younger?
Oh yeah, they'll make up any little thing just to pull me over. They'll anything. Just think about it. They'll say that they were even make up the word. Oh, your blinker was a different color. Your someone reported your car, or you pass by this street, or they just seen you driving, and with the car load of guys, and they just pulled us over. That's how it was. And it wasn't like just pulled over. They pulled us over with the guns out and everything. They wouldn't hesitate. They knew.
During the late 2000s, Marihuanos 13 had gotten into a big fight with a rival gang, the 18 Streeters, which led to an increase in everyday crime as both were involved in drive-bys, and both were targeted and killed by one another. In this last section, I speak to my uncle about how he believes this gang had a general influence in Quincy and how they differentiate with the newer gangs today. Influence El Grupo has had in Quincy, like regarding like the news and things like that.
Oh man, I don't know what kind of influence they had, but man, back then, well, before the killing started, everything it was all good. I mean, everybody, liked us around because we weren't about stealing. Well, actually, they were, but it wasn't as bad or in the areas that we were at. We kept our areas clean. They wouldn't, like, across the tracks. You wouldn't see anybody cross. They would cross and they knew what time it was. Their cars getting pulled over. We had, yeah, everybody. The homies used to bring cars right there, and we used to sit in the park and watch them. And they would call the cops, but the cops wouldn't be able to do nothing. because nobody would say anything after that. You know, it was pretty. Yeah, we had a, how should I say, we had a pretty locked in community right there. But nowadays it's more about shootings. They don't do it like we used to do back then.
Mhm. Do you feel like there's a difference between the newer generation that's coming in Quincy versus back then? Or
Yes, there is a big difference because back then you would, well, you would fight. It was mostly fights, stabbing here and there, shootings here and there. But now it's more shootings than people. Like people are more scared to lose a battle, than get lumped up or anything like that. Back then, we used to just handle your business. You know what I mean? And if it came down to it, you got to handle your business regardless, with or without it.
Mhm.
And now it's more like, oh, I got to handle this in one way and one way only, shooting.